Welcome to the Talk and Chatter experience powered by Gasoline Alley Harley Davidson, Pirelli Motorcycle Tyres Australia, and TCX Boots. Welcome back, Jared Brook.
Thank you.
Mate, I think it's about 3 years.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it could be. Time's flying.
Oh man, it has. We've had an interesting time since you were in here last time. We've had a lot going on.
Yeah.
You've had bucket loads going on, man.
It's been heaps.
I guess what brings you here? One thing, we just got back from Aussie Flat Track Nats, which we'll talk of a little bit. You're riding heaps. You're riding a Husky now.
Yep.
Tell us about what's been going on over these past few years, mate.
Yeah, well, I guess heaps of riding. I guess the world's kind of settled down a bit now since COVID and all that kind of stuff. So,
Yep.
yeah, there's a lot more chances to ride. Brand change as well, to Husky, to the new 23 model.
Yep.
Which has been, it's been good. It's been good. It's been challenging, which is kind of nice in a way. Developing the new bike, trying to get it set up for flat track and stuff like that. It's been challenging, but it's been really good.
One of the things that I wanted to ask you about is everyone says that this is just a red KTM if you're on a gas. This is just a white KTM if you're on a Husky. This is KTM. Is there a fair bit of change when you actually break it down for you guys?
Nah, not really.
Yep.
Like the 23 models are the exact same, Husky and KTM.
Yep.
So yeah, they're the same, but compared to the 21 model KTM that I had, they're a completely new bike.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep. And when you get on it straight away, is it one of those things that you get on and feel this is totally different?
Yeah, you can tell straight away, yeah. Because the foot pegs are different height.
Yep.
And then, like the swing arm, the subframe, it's a different material and stuff like that. So, yeah, you can definitely tell the difference.
Mate, you've seemed to adapt to that bike pretty damn well. It must feel all right. Has it taken a bit of time, though?
It's taken a bit. It probably looked a bit better at the start.
Yep.
But yeah, it's taken a bit. But it's good now.
What's the big changes? Because like one of the things that you're constantly chipping away at is suspension. Everyone keeps, well, you should be funneling more into it. Horsepower seems to be pretty good out of the box.
Yeah, horsepower's really good. Like
Yeah.
my bike right now, just ETS fuel, Vance and Hyden's pipe, and the Vortex. That's all it's done to it.
Well, so you don't even need to crack anything open.
No, we haven't touched the engine one bit. It's just stock.
Damn, that's unreal, eh?
Yeah.
How was it at Bathurst Long Track? Was that the new bike, or was that?
It was, yeah.
It was the new bike.
Yeah.
How was it riding something new at an event like that, mate? That's pretty damn fast paced.
Struggled a little bit down there. I did well during the heats and stuff, but come to the finals, didn't gate any good at all.
Yeah.
Struggled quite a bit with that. But yeah, I was probably lacking 1 or 2 horsepower down there.
Yep.
But then also I've running a completely different suspension setup now as well. So yeah, it's been quite a lot of changes since then.
So tell us about your program. Like 2023 is here. Man, it's a pretty magic time for yourself. You had some plans / goals this year that you were looking to tick off.
Yeah.
Then something else pops up. Can you tell us what's going on?
Yeah, so the plan was at the end of last year we're like starting to focus on going to head back to America again this year and do some riding over there.
Yep.
And then just before the North Brisbane Cup on the Friday, I got a phone call seeing if I'd be interested in competing in the World Flat Track Championship in Manchester and in Europe. So, yeah, we had to keep that under wraps for a little while. And then, it was just like a long process of like getting approved from MA to do it and then getting approved from the FIM.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's kind of like an invite, but then also you had to be like approved as well. So it was a long process on, getting all that sorted out.
Yep.
And then after that, it's been just all chips in pretty much, getting ready to head overseas.
What was your initial feeling of getting that? Was it Crumpy for the first call?
Yeah.
So Jason Crump obviously is in an FIM position now?
Yes, correct.
Like a development sort of position?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. So he calls you up. This is what we're looking at doing. Now, I think you're the first Aussie ever.
Correct, yeah.
It is, eh?
Yeah.
It's huge, eh?
Yeah, massive, yeah. So it's been going for like quite a few years now. But it's probably not as well known, even though it's like a world championship, like a proper world championship.
Yep.
Just, I guess, media kind of thing. It's not quite as well known over here, but over in Europe and stuff like that, it's very well known. So I'm the first Australian. So it's pretty cool.
Congratulations, mate.
Thank you.
I know when you first told me that this is a possibility, I was like, wow, that's huge. That's legitimately like a huge. It's a huge thing for Australian sport too.
Mm-hmm.
It's big for you, but for Australian dirt track to have extra eyeballs on the sport here from you going over there, it's got to be good for everyone else involved in the sport, not just yourself.
For sure. I think so. I mean, we've got like so many young kids heading to America now and doing the amateur nationals and stuff like that. And now, with me going over there, hopefully it brings a different set of eyes to Australia and, it can help out the younger generation.
Man, we might touch on that younger generation thing as well right now. Man, it's solid, eh?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you look at last weekend, the riding with Jed Fife, the Page family, Archibald. Like, it's a very strong junior 85, junior light sort of thing. The American thing for, say, Jed and Bodie and Jake Page there, that must be a big step up for riding skills, Like, because you've done it, you know what it's like.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously, even on the 85s, it's still a completely different style of riding and style of tracks and setup compared to what we usually do over here. It's quite hard for the young kids to head over there. But I mean, it's such a good week over there. Like, it's the perfect, I guess, stepping stone for an Australian is to head over there and do that amateur nationals. Get the
amateur nationals out of the way, and then you come back with hopefully a tool belt of tools to come and improve here, and you can see the style. Like, you can see straight away. It's like, wow, they've picked something else.
Like the young guys like Jed and stuff like that had been just over in America and only just got back a week or so before before Dave's event down there, AFTN. I mean, you could see they were flying.
Tell us about AFTN, mate. What do you reckon?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, as we were saying before, to be finished at 3:30 in the afternoon, you'd done, I think I did like 118 laps for the weekend.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. And we had one of our races cut short, the 15-lap one on Saturday. I think we worked out for one bike to do that many laps was like 10 club days.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's 118 laps, so that's... Obviously, there's a 15-lap chucked in there, a couple of 10 laps in there. It's huge, eh?
Oh, massive.
Yeah.
And such a well-run event, too. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's good to hear. It's one of those things, and we had a little bit of a debrief after the event. I obviously did the commentary at it, and play a minor part in a few other things behind the scenes. But, to get bad feedback, it's pretty hard.
Yeah.
Which was... You want to have that to be able to improve the next one and the next one and the next one. But everyone just get, this was good. And the live timing, being able to look at, that's been a thing for everyone for a long time now. But just being able to look at that, you may not be able to live broadcast something, but being able to be at home and see the live timing, it's a huge thing. Eh? It just helps,
Yeah, my friends and family and partner and stuff like that, they all watch the live timing and, they love it.
What do you reckon of the track?
It's an interesting one down there. It was actually really good for me to heading over to the World Championship because we don't have that style of tracks up here in Queensland.
No.
So it was good. It was a really good. It was my last hit out before I head overseas. So it was good to ride on that kind of style of track. I mean, pretty much every time you go out, it's different.
That's one of the things, eh? Especially that I think Saturday. Well, Sunday differently, obviously, because the TT track and with 3 different surfaces, it makes it hard. But Saturday with that wind, the track changed probably over your 15-lap race on that Saturday that kept getting changed.
Yeah.
Because of a few issues into turn 1. Yeah. That must have changed heaps throughout, just from purely wind drying the track out.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, like the first 5 laps, you're kind of riding a certain way.
Yep.
And then the next 5, you start losing a bit of grip and you got to change how you're riding a little bit. And then the last 5, it changes once again.
It's cool. What do you reckon of that first corner? That must be gnarly going in there with 16 and 18 bikes for the Pro 450. That's pretty full on, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, the first few races, it isn't too bad.
Yep.
And then when it like dries out a little bit more and the groove develops more, and it's quite a narrow groove there, like going into turn one.
Yep.
So yeah, you definitely want to get a good start. That's for sure.
So AFTN, one of the big things is 19s. We're pushing. Let's get 19s into the sport in Australia, and it seems to be going good. Like it's you're on them now, pretty much mostly. For you going over to Europe, you're going to 19s as well, hey?
Correct. Yep.
And that's a good inroad for going into Europe. How's your feel been with going to that, obviously, from the 21-18 and things like that? How's everything going anyway?
Yeah, good. I mean, since the Queensland's titles that we had up at Brisbane at the start of May, I think it was, I've just been on 19s ever since then, riding on them. Because, I mean, it's such a different style, and the way you set your bike up and stuff like that is so different.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's been going good. I've been doing, like, a lot of testing with Paul from MPE. He's been a great help.
Yeah, right.
And just riding on them as much as I can.
So Paul's in your corner doing suspension development. That will you take? And this is probably a silly question, but you're going to take your own suspension just straight over.
Yeah.
Ignition, suspension, pipe.
Yeah.
That's it. Eh?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Tell us about your program, about Europe. Obviously, it's insane travel. The selection process was grueling. It was probably about 12 to 14 weeks, I'm having a guess, from when we first spoke at the Cup to the point of being able to be told.
Yeah.
And then it all starts. What have you done?
Oh, heaps. Yeah, it's been very busy since then. So before got the final tick of approval, I reached out to a couple people just to help out with like fitness programming and on the mental side of things as well. Because that's such a big important thing to have, especially going overseas.
Yeah.
And then they put me on to a guy on the Gold Coast, Paul, who's a trainer.
Yep.
So yeah, just been proper, like, I guess, dirt track specific training, training styles and timing and stuff like that. So we've been going pretty hard on that. And then, yeah, just like a lot of travel tips, nutrition, like race day nutrition, bike setup, things to do at the track and stuff like that. I have like a protocol of flying when we go over there.
Wow.
And stuff like that, of things to do, and so make sure I don't get sick, and then try and make sure like the jet lag doesn't play a factor when I get over there and stuff like that. So yeah, like as I said before, it's been all chips in to heading over there.
It's unreal that you've taken the opportunity so serious. Like, you were fit. You're an athlete beforehand, right? Like, you trained pretty hard.
Yeah.
You've got your grip strength is incredible. You've got the strongest handshake. I've said this to you beforehand of anyone I know. You're fit. You're strong. You're healthy. How much has it improved by doing this new protocol or new program? How does that change?
Oh, massively.
Yep.
Massively, yeah. I mean, yeah, like I thought I was kind of in not too bad shape beforehand, but yeah, it's a whole new level now. I mean, like, I guess take it for instance, on the weekend there at the AFTN, 118 laps, the most like you'll ever do here in Australia, and it's more racing than what I do overseas, like in one day or 2 days. And yeah, it was fine. No dramas at all. 15 lapper, no worries.
Cramping, anything?
Nothing. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was good. I was quite happy.
Has hydration changed for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It seems like that's one of the biggest things. Like, if you read anything online or anything now through training programs and that, everyone keeps pointing back to hydration. Has that been a bit of a key thing to work on?
Yeah. Hydration and food has been the two biggest things, because I genuinely used to, I guess, like struggle to eat during the day and stuff like that. And then, just even a difference in my diet before the race, and then, during the race, and recovery. And recovery has been a big thing as well.
Yeah, right.
It's something that I never used to focus on a lot. But, with Paul, that's a massive, big focus. And, I mean, you can tell the difference if you say, like, there's been a couple of days of training where I've been busy after training or whatever, and haven't been able to stretch and recover and roll properly, and then the next day you're like, ooh, just massive difference. So,
because I guess, and this is the thing where it becomes a little bit difficult too. It's like, say on the weekend, for instance, traditionally, you finish racing at whatever time.
Mm-hmm.
You, Andrew, your dad, you usually get back in the car, your mum, whatever, drive home overnight, then you're back to work.
Yeah.
Like, that's how it is, eh?
Yeah,
Like, it's so hard to
that's
get
how it
recovery
happens.
time in, and it's sort of like you've sort of forced it on there to improve too, hey? Because it is hard to find that time sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, but it's just something that you have to do, and you have to prioritize it. So,
because the best thing that you can possibly do is race all day and then sit in a car for 12 hours. Because when you get out of the car, like, I always know this is like, you hop out, say you get back to Brisbane from driving from Sydney and you're ridden for the day. You just feel like you've seized, eh? Like your
feel
legs.
like you're 80.
Yeah, you do. You know, you're like, oh, geez, why did I age so much in 12 hours? You know, so now fitness. What have you been doing? What has been the fitness stuff?
Heaps of gym,
Yep.
heaps of cycling as well.
Yep.
And yeah, just the timing and the structure
Yep.
around training has been the biggest improvement.
So like dedicated times to do it.
Not so much times. I mean, I always train in the afternoon after
Yep.
work. But yeah, just like time, like set times and stuff like that during the workout. Yeah.
Yep. And have you noticed, obviously, strength and that's been a big thing in recovery. Your cardio is different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Massive.
And when you got to, is it Paul?
Paul, yeah.
Paul who?
Haynes.
Paul Haynes. When you got to Paul's place, were you fit?
Oh, relatively, yeah.
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 Did he say you were on a scale of 1 to 10, or do they do like a pre-measurement, or how does all that work for you?
I got a scan done, like a full body DEXA scan done.
Oh wow.
And then we did like a few tests and stuff like that.
Yep.
And then they kind of programmed after that
How did you connect with Paul?
through Gawley.
Yeah. So Stephen Gall been part of your program a bit too, hey?
He has been, yeah.
And how did you connect with Stephen? Obviously, like, he comes to the track sometimes, and how does all that work?
Geez, I met Gawley maybe 10 years ago. I don't know, through Troy.
Troy Bayliss.
Just through, I guess, like a few of the scrambler races and the TBC and stuff like that.
Yep.
And then I did the AIS a couple of times as well.
Yep.
Back in the day when Gawley was running those camps.
Yep.
So yeah, I knew him a little bit from them, and then I have some knee braces from him as well.
Yep.
And then like whenever I've seen him at the track or at different events or whatever, like always said hello and stuff like that.
Yep. And then you obviously reached out to him this time to say, hey, I'm doing this series, championship. And then he jumped on board and has helped.
Yep.
And what's he done?
Oh, heaps of stuff.
Yeah, right.
He's such a good guy, Gawley.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just mindset,
Yeah.
that sort of thing as well?
Yeah. Yeah, the mindset's been a big change as well.
So go back to, say, last year, right? You line up on the start grid to this year without giving away a trade secret now, because it is something that's going to work, I'm guessing.
Hope so.
What's changed? Like, do you feel a change when you do line up?
Yeah.
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 Yep.
Yeah, so I've done like a lot of cognitive-based training as well.
Yep.
And just like little tips to do during the day before the race.
Yep.
Stuff like that.
Has it got to the point now, because you've done some races this year, but there hasn't been heaps and heaps of racing for the start of the year. Has it got to second nature yet, this new program throughout the day, or you still sort of have to refer to it sort of like a cheat sheet or something?
I do have a cheat sheet just to make sure I stay on track
Cool.
and don't waver.
Yep.
But yeah, so there hasn't been a lot of racing, but I've been doing a lot of riding, and you want to, like, when you test, I guess you work out what you want to be testing for the day.
Yep.
But then also you want to, I guess, test as you're going to race as well.
Yep.
So yeah, making sure you do it like you're in the right like you have the right attitude, your mind's in the right place, and then you're still making sure that your nutrition and your hydration and stuff is all good. So then when you do turn up to the race, it's like you've done it 1,000 times before, and you're just there to ride your bike.
Second nature kicks in.
Yeah.
You just, When you tested in the past, did you have a program that you just test to, or did you just go out there and bang laps and go, okay, well, this is sort of thing, or how have you worked for that stuff?
Yes and no. So I guess there'd be stuff that we would want to try and stuff like that. But then it'd also be just a lot of laps too.
Yeah, just trying to bang out those laps. Mm-hmm. Now, hey, do you want to water at any time as well?
Nah, I'm all right. Thank you.
That is there if you want, mate. So I'll just put that there. I just heard your voice getting a bit raspy there. I was like, oh, there's water in there if you do want it anyway,
Yeah,
mate.
no worries.
Now, when you're putting together a program like going to Europe, going overseas, going to Manchester, how does it all work? Like, what do you do, mate? Like, do you ring up the Husqvarna dealer in Manchester and say, hey, I'm Jared Brook, I'm from Australia, give us a bite? Like, I know that's the very simplified version, but how does it all work, mate?
Oh, man, the logistics are crazy.
Yeah.
I guess because when I've gone to America before, I've known people or I've had people put me onto people.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's been a lot easier. But, yeah, so through Husky over here in Trent,
Yep.
APO.
Yep.
They've organised me a bike to ride over there.
Yep.
And then, yeah, just a heap of other logistics trying to plan.
Yep.
Plan where to get stuff from, like tyres and fuel and stuff like that. And then just travel where we're going to be and where we're going and stuff like that. So it's been a lot of work.
To have Trent in your corner, like APO, he's so passionate about the sport.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big benefit, I feel. You know, like he loves the sport for one thing and actually commits to it too.
Yeah.
Like there's being loving it and then there's being actually part of it. And they're as a family just put so much into this. And
oh, yeah. I mean, the events that they run
for sure
down in Maclay and Kempsey and stuff like that, or even Coffs.
Yeah.
And, yeah, just the effort that Ali puts in as well as Trent. Like Trent's an official. He was the scrutineer on the weekend.
Yep.
Like Ali was the race secretary. Like
yeah,
the effort is massive.
As a family, mate, they full chips in. And is that type of person that's say if you need something over there, we'll get the ball rolling.
Yes,
quite well. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like it's
sure.
got that sort of personality that it's like I'll get this, you know, and make it happen. So what do? You fly into the UK.
Yep.
Pick up a van?
No, we're going to borrow a van over there.
Borrow a van? Yep.
And then, pick up the bike, put my suspension and parts in it.
Yep.
Hopefully try and ride somewhere just before.
What are the tracks like? Like, have you had a bit of a Google Maps or what's going on there?
Yeah,
Yep.
so it's the first one's at Bellevue.
Yep.
At the Aces Speedway track there.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, there's like a lot of, I guess, YouTube footage and stuff like that they've been watching and stuff. So,
yep.
It's been good.
And tyre-wise, what do you run here?
Dunlops.
Yep. So if you go over there, do they run exactly the same Dunlop? Like, or do you take something or what? How's that work?
No, they do. Yeah, you can get the same. So they run Dunlop or Maxxis.
Same sort of deal.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
And there's not a control tyre where everyone's going to run the same thing?
No, it's just 19s. Yeah.
So for you, in theory, you should be able to, apart from a new bike over there, bang your suspension in, your same tyres that you use, and pretty much be straight on.
Yeah, it should feel the same.
Yep. Do you use different bars or anything? Or
no, just standard bars.
Factory bars?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool then.
Yeah.
So, Husqvarna FC 450?
Yep, correct.
Yep. So, one of them? Two of them? What happens to that stuff,
just
mate?
one. Just going to have one over
One of them?
Yeah.
Yep. So, go over there, run it in.
Yep.
How long do you race?
So, I leave on the 30th of July and then I guess land in Manchester on the 31st.
Yep.
Night time. And then I race on the 5th.
Yeah, right. That's pretty quick turnaround.
Yeah.
Man, I'm so stoked for you, for one thing, but I'm so bummed because I'm going to miss riding and Dust Hustle with you this year.
Yeah, I know.
And, like, there's nothing better than being lapped by you on the same bike. So that's the 29th. And, you leave on that Sunday. So,
when I saw the dates pop up, I was like, I don't know, should I? And then I was like, nah,
it's not.
I probably shouldn't.
You shouldn't. Nah, this is
such a good weekend hanging out with everyone and riding and stuff like that.
It's been good, man. We've had, I think 3 years of doing it together, I think now. Yeah. And, we had a few good times.
Yeah,
and,
it's been awesome.
you've had a few viral photos, which has been good too. And yeah, there's one particular one last year of you like completely sideways on one of the Harleys, and that is damn cool, mate. So that's it's going to be a shame to not see that, but maybe the second half of the year we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
with that, mate.
yeah,
So,
for sure.
So July 5, first race meeting. Now everyone flies in from different parts of Europe, obviously. Have you been able to check out the competitors on Instagram and stuff and see what they're like, or
Oh, I've looked at a couple of them, but
you're not phased?
nah, not really. I never look at the entry list or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is what it is.
So in Australia, you're the same. You're just like, oh, I'm just going to rock up.
Yeah.
Just do your own thing.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
And has that been you forever? Like,
Yeah, yep. Yeah, even when I was younger, I never used to look at the entry list.
Yep.
I mean, you know who's going to turn up anyway. Like, all the good guys are going to be there. So,
Yep.
it doesn't really change. But, yeah, that's just one thing that I've never really done.
it's not a bad thing because it's just head noise. It's just something else to put into your head.
Yeah, it's just something that you don't need to worry about, really.
Especially when in Australia, you know every single rider. And you know every single rider pretty damn well.
Yeah.
You race against them a lot, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
So I get that. Now, like, are they going to have like an open practice, or do you know like a program yet, or any of that stuff?
No, the program's not finalised yet.
Oh, wow. Of course it's not.
But yeah, it's basically you get like your practice and then your time practice and then your heat and then a semi and then the final.
And how many laps? Like, are they 4 laps? Are they?
Oh, I believe they're like 6, 8, and 12. I think.
Yep.
Yeah. Just from watching from past years,
Past ones.
but yeah.
Man, 6, 8, and 12. So you're going over there to do 26 laps. That's a lot, eh?
Yeah.
There's a lot on the line.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a big thing. Like, it's Who's won it in the past? You know.
An Italian guy, I believe.
Yeah,
I think
right.
he's won it a couple of times. The same fella.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. And with over there, like, you have a good feel of who's done engine work here and who hasn't. Everything. Is there a rule in place that you've got to be on stock machines, or is there anything like that? Or is it pretty much,
no. I mean, like, there is certain rules on stuff that
Yep.
you can and can't do.
Yep.
The same as over here or the same as in America.
Same sort of deal.
Yeah.
So you'll do the same deal though. Hey, just the ignition.
Yeah.
Pipe. No.
Yeah, that's what we're planning on.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
And have you got a mechanic over there?
Just
or?
Dad.
Dad's going?
Yeah.
Okay, so Andrew's going with you. Shane's going with you.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Yeah, so Shane's coming over from round 2 to 4.
Yep.
And then my partner Elvie, she's coming over to the last round in France.
Wow.
And then I have a friend of mine, Steve, who has also been like a massive help in my program. He's a trainer.
Yep.
So like we've all linked up with Paul, with Gawley and Shane and Steve, and so while I've been up in Gympie, Steve's been helping me out, making sure I'm doing everything properly when it comes to working out and stuff like that.
Yep.
So he's coming over to the last round in France as well.
So okay, let's talk about the round. So round 1, Manchester. Mm-hmm. What do you do after that?
Pretty much clean the bike up,
Yep.
crate it back up, and then come home.
So okay, so you come home for about 5 weeks, isn't it? 4 weeks?
I think it's about 4 weeks. Yeah.
4 weeks.
Yep.
Now that bike then sits in a van or in a crate or something. Do
It's being sent to Austria.
they do that for you?
Yeah.
Like that's part of the series?
No, so it's going to be sent to Husqvarna in Austria.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so you come home for 4 weeks, straight back into work. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this stuff ain't cheap.
No.
Like this stuff adds up pretty quick. So there, clean the bike, come home probably the Tuesday, Wednesday, you'll be in Australia.
Yeah.
Home for a few weeks, fly back. Round 2, where's that?
Hungary.
Hungary.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So you're going to Austria,
Correct.
Pick
Pick
up
up the
the-
bike.
a van.
Yep. Pick up
Another
the
van?
van,
Yep.
bike, and then head down to the first round in Hungary.
Wow. Second round.
Second round.
Second round in Hungary. And have you been able to look at this track online or anything?
Yeah.
What do
So
you-
the past few years they've raced at all the tracks actually.
Oh, have
they were
they?
going to. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. And it's been like live it's like live streamed on YouTube, so you can watch the whole race meeting basically.
That's going to be unreal.
Yeah.
That will be super exciting to see that. What's the how do you work round 2 out? So anyone else come with you for round 2?
Just Shane and Dad. Yeah.
Again, cool.
Yeah.
And what do you expect for that track? Is it going to be? Are they all the same, like surface sport?
Yeah. Oh, one of them's clay. I think the Czech Republic one. I think it's more clay kind of base, but they're all pretty well speedway tracks.
Yep. Tight, eh? Not tight.
Not
but,
too bad. Yeah, like the first one in Manchester, it's actually a little bit bigger than the North Brisbane speedway track.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting. It's so hard to gauge from online.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you look at it online, and I've watched it. I'm like, I wonder what that scale is or what that'll be.
Yeah.
So, what about things like gearing and all that sort of stuff? Are you just going to figure it out?
Look at the track length.
Yep.
Put something on that we think, and then try and figure it out in practice.
Are you a person that really narrows down on setup and gearing, or do you have like a pretty general box that you get into and go, this is where I like my bike?
Yeah, like a general box.
Yeah.
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 So you go to Bathurst, obviously that stuff changes.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but generally you've got a pretty good dial.
Generally,
Yeah,
pretty well run the same everywhere except for on the big tracks, like Bathurst.
Bathurst, no. Yeah, I was going to say that. What about, say, North Brizzy compared to last weekend? Mm-hmm. How much do you change for that?
Just suspension.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Gearing all the same?
Gearing was the same, yep.
Yeah, okay, yep. And the suspension would be a big change, obviously.
Oh, yeah, just because the surface is so different, and then
Yep.
when it grooves up, then it's different again, so,
yeah. Morning to afternoon's 2 total different fields.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
For that place. Okay, so Czech Republic, I believe, is the 3rd round?
The 4th round.
It's the 4th round?
Yeah.
So Elvie comes into France,
Correct.
and it's 4 rounds, isn't it?
5.
Okay, so what's the 5th round at? What do you got? 3rd, 4th, 5th? Where do you happen there?
So the 3rd one's in Italy,
Yeah, right.
and then Czech Republic, and then, the bottom of France is the last round.
Have you been to Europe before?
No.
How does this all feel?
Yeah, I guess probably the biggest worry is just the language barrier.
Yeah.
But Shane, he's like well travelled from his past job,
Yeah.
so he's actually been to a lot of the countries.
Okay. Yep.
So yeah,
That'll help.
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Mate, one of the big things, and so I went to China the first time, I think it was 2015.
Yeah.
So that's 8 years ago now. And the internet was good, right, in 2015, but it's not like it is now.
Yeah.
And we got to the airport, and it's 2 mates and myself were going to go work in a factory for a little bit over there. And, we got to Brisbane Airport, and this guy was at the bar. Like, we just had a beer just before we travel. He looked at us guys, and he goes, where you going? We're going to China. And where you going? Xiamen. It's right in the middle industrial area. Mm-hmm. Do you speak any Mandarin or anything? Like, we know the basics, but not really. Oh, you're going to struggle. Like, no, we're all good. We've got Google Translate, right? So we're at the airport, and he's like, oh, okay, yeah, good luck, guys. He's a real character, this guy that served us our beer. And he's like, good luck. Yeah, cool. We landed in this Xiamen, and there was just no English.
Oh, really?
For the whole 3 days, the first 3 days, we didn't see anyone else that looked like us at all, right? Because we were like right in the middle of industrial China. So we turned our phones on when we got to the airport. We thought, oh, here we go. We'll just hit translate in. This is where we're going to go. That's right. We don't have data. So nothing works, right? And nothing would work because they blocked the apps and whatnot that was on the phone, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, this is going to be a bit more difficult. Next thing, we're driving up the wrong way of a freeway with this taxi with some guy that we just showed him a photo of our place because it was in English. Oh, I think I know. Craziest time. What I see now, though, in 8 years, how much that's improved with being able to travel with your phone and basically being able to translate live. Like,
Yeah.
I think that'll be a lot easier than now. You
I
know,
hope so.
It'll be fine, mate. You'll be fine. So, yeah, because looking back on myself back in 2015, that was my biggest stress about going there. Then Google released this thing. I'm like, oh, thanks, Google. You're unreal. Nah, it didn't work so well, mate, without reception. So, but yeah, this time you'll be sweet. You'll be no worries. And having Shane that's travelled a lot, mate.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So, and yeah, you go into some of the most beautiful locations ever. Like, You're going
Yeah.
to some pretty historic places.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty cool because each
Yeah.
round is a weekend apart, except for the last one
Yep.
in France. It's 2 weeks apart. So yeah, we're just gonna travel,
Yep.
train along the way, and
Yep.
then show up to the next race.
So that the only time you come home in between is that first between round 1 and 2.
Yeah,
eh?
correct. Yep.
And then it's bang, 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 weekend apart,
Yep.
final. That's a hectic time. You got to
Yeah.
do some Ks too.
Yeah.
Whose van?
Euro car.
Oh, you hired a
Just
van.
a high one.
Yeah, okay, yep. Yeah, I was going to say, like, did you get a van from Eurocar in Manchester, or were you able to? It's easier to borrow things in the UK from people you know. Were you
Yeah,
able
like
to do
there's a
anything
lot
like
of there's a lot of speedway people over
Yeah.
there and Australians and
Yep.
stuff like that. So yeah, we're just gonna borrow one in Manchester.
Oh, cool.
And then
Yeah.
for the rest we just hired one.
Because I was going to say as well, like with growing up in the sport that you've done, you've run parallels with a lot of speedway riders
Yeah.
forever now. I'm sure there's going to be people that you know along the way in those places
Yeah.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. What's the most exciting part of this coming up?
Oh man, just all of it really, I
Yeah.
suppose. Yeah.
Yep.
Just getting to ride in a different country
Yep.
with arguably some of the best riders in the world. So yeah, looking forward to it.
What's the feel of it? Like when you get announced, when it got announced and everything, is there like a responsibility? Does it feel like that, or does it feel like I'm just there to do me? I'll do what
Yeah.
I do always, which is my best, you know?
Yeah, I guess there is. I guess a
Yep.
little bit of a responsibility because you're representing Australia,
Yep.
but at the same time, I mean, you just got to go over there and not let the pressure get to you and just worry
Yeah.
about what you're there to do.
100%. What's it cost?
A few dollars.
Yeah, it would. So I guess that's one of the big things. Like you look at racing in Australia, it costs a lot to travel anywhere. It costs
Yeah.
a lot to enter things. Blah blah blah. You start adding flights to that, trying to organise bikes, accommodation in different places. How does that all work? I don't know. Does MA as an international rider, do you get a contribution, or do they help with the FIA license, the FIM license, or any of that stuff?
Yeah, so
Yep.
they've been a good help, MA.
Yep.
Helping organise the license and stuff like that and getting that kind of the official side of things sorted out. So, they've been really good to me.
Oh, that's good. Because, man, it's really hard. Like, I know you probably know this because you spent the weekend with him, but Teo Aksu last week,
Yeah.
he was on an FIM license for the weekend as well. And
Yeah.
It's a puzzle.
Yeah.
Like, it's like he couldn't ride anywhere else apart from that event. It was like a one event thing.
Yeah.
Man, it's a real puzzle to try and organise. It's a minefield of like technical stuff to try and organise that stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Because you got to be, because you can't have 2 licenses
Yep.
at once. So then you got to be released from MA
Yep.
to get your FIM license
Yep.
and stuff like that. So,
So your senior national MA license that you run under
Yeah.
all year, as of like say July 30,
yeah,
that
it gets suspended.
doesn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. And then they'll get your FIM license, the international one, and you get that for that period while you're over there. Then
Correct.
it'll suspend basically, won't it?
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
There's a lot to it.
Yeah, there is. Yeah,
There's a lot to this.
There's a lot of details that
Yeah.
people don't realise.
When you first heard about it, did you realise there's going to be so much involved in getting to like you're not oblivious to it, but
No.
geez, there's a lot to it, eh?
Yeah, I mean, like I've been overseas in America before, so
Yep.
yeah, it's a similar setup over there. Like I've ran an FIM license while I was over there.
Yep.
So all that kind of stuff was the same.
Yep.
But yeah, just a lot of logistics.
What do you think that first night in Manchester? Like you're lined up with all these people, it's live streamed. What's that feeling going to be like?
Good, hopefully. Hopefully I won't be too nervous.
Do you get nervous?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I meant to ask that before when you're talking about not eating through the day in the past.
Yeah.
Is that a nerves thing?
Yeah, that was a nerves thing. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yep. But now having the program that you've had, the the cognitive behaviour therapy, CBT, of things like that, processes that's got to aid, because I think nerves or anxiety or whatever you want to call it is just through the unknown.
Correct.
But if you've already programmed that you know what you're doing, that all should not disappear.
Yeah.
Because nerves are a good thing too.
Yeah. It's just, I guess, managing it.
Yeah, right. Yep.
Yeah, is probably the correct thing for it. Yeah.
And like foreign countries, what are you going to eat? What are you going to do? Like, how's that all work? Have you got like when you said you got like a protocol for when you travel and you'll be stretching and your food so you didn't get sick and stuff? Have you got that all figured out?
Mainly just for race day, kind of
right.
got that sort of thing figured out. I
Yep.
mean, Manchester won't be so bad.
No.
Being like an English country.
Yeah.
But then overseas, to be just kind of make do.
Yeah.
Cook. We're going to cook as much as we can, just so you know what you're eating and stuff like that.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Good thing about, I think, with Shane as well, like I don't know Shane massively well, but what I do know in the past 6-8 months that I've got to know him, very healthy guy,
Yeah.
very smart. You've got a good person. What do you like? No, he does seem real smart.
He's good.
You've got someone in your corner as well when you're traveling with him as well.
Yeah.
That obviously you said he's travelled over there before.
Yes. Yeah.
It just makes that little bit of stress a bit easier.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's awesome that he's coming over to help out and stuff like that. And he's actually planned a lot of, I guess, the travel in Europe for us as well. Because he's, like I said, he's been to quite a few of these countries before. So he knows his way around a little bit.
Yeah, nice.
So, that's taken a massive stress away from it.
That's good. That's good. And I think on the backside of that is someone that's been before, it also takes some of the external costs that you can sometimes get roped into out of it a bit too, doesn't it?
For sure.
Because if you go there the first time, you always spend more than, not spend more, but you always get caught up in something a little bit more than what, if you've got advice or actual real world advice for a day.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, round 5 comes around, the end of it, right? What happens? Like, you come back home. Is this? Have they said if this is an annual thing that they're looking to do? Have they? Do you get like I don't know? Does some sort of brochure come? Like what happens, mate?
No, you get kind of very limited information about it.
Yeah.
But I guess so round 5 comes.
Yeah.
Just drive back up to Austria, drop the bike off, fly home. And then, as far as next year and stuff like that, we just have to just wait and see,
How, like, you've got APO, Fly Gear, TCX sponsorship, like within apparel and whatever your deals you've worked out.
Yeah.
How does all that work on an international scale? Like, are you able to wear that stuff over there?
Yeah.
Or, like, how you doing that, mate?
So pretty much everything that I use over here, I can use over there as well.
That's good.
So you can run your normal nylon motocross gear, or you can run leathers. They give you the option.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. So I'm just going to be wearing fly gear.
Because you're all like, you've never done the leathers, have you? Did you as a junior?
In America, when I've been over there, you had to wear leathers.
Yeah. But nylon here, full stop.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
I think the nylon part with the knee brace in there.
Yeah.
I think that's a big benefit,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know, I think, because I don't know about getting the leathers with knee braces under. It doesn't sort of seem to work.
No, I mean, you can. You'd have to get them custom, but I could imagine be pretty stiff,
Yeah. Yep. So that's a good thing, being able to use all your own gear, be able to continue with that.
Yeah.
Because on both sides of it, those companies have been really loyal, and you've been really loyal, obviously, to those companies as well.
Yeah.
That's a big part to you, eh?
Yeah, for sure, sure. I mean, they've been very, very good to me for a lot of years now. So there's no need to change at all, for sure.
As a brand side of things, how's it been, the conversation when you've sort of said to them, "Hey, I'm going to Europe"? Like, it must be a congratulations. Like, that's a huge thing.
Yeah, they've been stoked.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, it's been really good. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's for them, it's another set of eyeballs, which changes things a little bit. But on a personal factor, because of the loyalty on both sides, as well, it's a huge achievement, mate. It's you know, the Horizon Award that you won, was that 2016?
Yeah, 7 years ago, actually.
Man.
Popped up on Facebook memories the other day.
Oh, that's a long time.
It has been a long time.
As far as achievement, like that is a monster, like massive award, right?
Mm-hmm.
The achievement of being able to go over there and race, like for your country, over in what you're doing now, especially you've put the groundwork here in Australia to do this and to achieve. Man, that must be huge, yeah?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because it shouldn't be underwhelmed because it's massive. Like I'm excited to see the racing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's
Yeah.
good to have a live stream.
Yeah. Yeah.
Once we get through, obviously, round 5. What date's round 5, mate?
It is the second weekend in October.
I
think, yeah.
So you go basically the 30th of July till...
Middle of October, yep.
Is this the longest time away from work? And this must be.
Yeah, it will be, yeah. Yep.
That's huge. That's a big thing.
Yeah.
Tell you what, mate, you've grinded though this point in time. You've put some work in too, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, flat out.
Yeah, both, like, because you're a builder.
Yeah.
Man, there's been a lot of work on these last couple of years for yourself.
Yeah, for sure. It's been good.
When you get home in October, what's on the rest of the calendar? What does come up? You obviously want to keep racing here. What happens then?
I don't think there's too much, to be honest, because I miss both the Aussies.
Yep.
I'll be home for the first one, but it's like the weekend or 2 weekends before I go back overseas, so I'm not going to worry about doing it.
Yep. Where's Aussies this year?
Raymond Terrace.
Yeah, right.
And, geez, I don't actually know where the other one is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just know I'm away for it, so kind of scratched it, yeah.
It's like looking entry list, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, no, don't worry about it. So that's that one. And then, obviously, the next one, the track championship. Just trying to think where that would be.
Albury? I think it
right.
might be still at Albury.
And then you come back in October.
Correct.
We've got one other AFTN round.
Yeah,
We've got round
in
5 and
November.
6 in November.
Yep.
You come to...
So I do that one, yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. And then, obviously, North Brisbane Cup.
Yeah, and I think that's probably basically will be about it.
Man, that's a different year for you.
It's a very different year.
Because, like, usually there's... it's like nearly every weekend of racing too.
Pretty much.
And I think strategically, like, getting your program ready for this one, you've done just as much riding, but it mightn't be as many races.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. So I haven't done a few. I didn't
Yep.
do the New South Wales titles.
Yep.
At Gunnedah, and I didn't do a couple of open meetings and stuff like that,
Yep.
just purely so I could be riding on 19s the whole time.
Yep. Yeah. Tell me, I got to ask you, like, I feel, and I might be wrong, but I feel dirt track, flat track, however you want to call it, is going through a really good time again in Australia.
Yeah, I think so, for sure.
You do?
Yeah. I mean, it took a pretty hard dip after, I guess, like the TBC and stuff like that finished.
Yep.
But yeah, it's kind of going in a new way now. I'd say, well, not a new way, but a new way for Australia.
Yep.
I mean, with like Dave running the AFTN and stuff like that.
Yep.
It's pushing it in a different direction, in the right direction, in my opinion.
Yep.
I mean, because as we know, America, Europe, they all run on 19.
Yep.
So yeah, it's kind of crazy that we don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there'll always be a place for the 21, 18, because I mean that's what it's been like in Australia for a lot of years now.
Yep.
So I believe there always will be that place for running that style of setup. But yeah, as far as like the 19s go, I mean, why wouldn't you want to push it more when there was, there might have been 10 or something like that. Kids went over to race the Amateur Nationals, so why wouldn't you want to try and prepare them as best they can?
100%, mate. I think that's one of the big things. It's, the legacy of being able to come from an 85 right through basically on the same sort of setup. Yeah. To go race anywhere in the world makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
And you're not going through as many of them. I think that's like in tyres, I mean. Yeah. It's a little bit, it takes a bit to set up, but I think it's a little bit cheaper in the long term if you look at a full season, you know. Yeah,
for sure.
And take away the series and everything, what I think with talent-wise, and we had 36 bikes or whatever it was, separated by 1 point something seconds in qualifying. Like, the field is good. Like, you make a little mistake, I just feel that there's probably about 18 people that can be really at the front of a race. Well, a full grid.
Yeah.
At any race.
Yeah,
it's
for
pretty
sure.
damn good.
Oh,
So,
I mean, the talent and the level of riding
Yep.
in Australia is phenomenal.
yeah. No, I
really
couldn't agree
good.
more. Mate, thank you for coming in. I guess you've got to shout out to a couple of people that have been behind you for ages on your program, but are also contributing now. Who are they?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to thank you for having me on here. I really appreciate it. I mean, it's always good chatting to you. But yeah, like massive shout out to APO and Husky because they've been a good supporter of mine for a while now. And yeah, they've helped out a lot in preparing for the trip. And then just all my regular sponsors that have, been great supporters of me and have stepped up and helped out in any way that they possibly can has been really much appreciated.
Yep.
And I mean, I got to thank a lot of people from Gympie back home that have been helping me out. And I mean, like, as I say, my friend Steve, for example, like just a great bloke, has stepped up and taken time out of his day and out of his weeks and time away from his family and like partner and stuff like that to be helping me out to make sure I'm in the best shape possible. So, I mean, there's a lot of people that have been helping me out, and I really appreciate it.
Mate, you're a top fella. I'm so happy for the achievement and to see how it all goes. I'm sure it'll go good. Just so stoked for you. I've got one thing. Do you have any room on your jersey for, say, if I wanted to put my brand, my M33 Productions or something? Do you have any room available?
For
there
sure.
Is?
Yeah.
I know it's stacked out to the thing, but no. But in all seriousness,
Yes.
there is.
Yeah,
okay.
for sure.
So
For sure.
For me, I'd like to be on board. Like it's for one thing, my business gets eyeballs into a different part of the world, but man, it's just such a cool journey, and I'm guessing it is open for other people. So if there is anything,
for sure. I mean, every little bit helps.
Yep.
Definitely. And yeah, like I said, like a lot of people, friends and family from back home and like business people they've known for years and stuff like that have had chipping in a little bit. So yeah, like I said, every little bit helps, and every little bit is definitely very much appreciated.
Cool, mate. Well, all the best for the rest of 2023.
Thank you.
Super excited to see where it all goes, and hopefully this is something that just continues to grow for Australians in flat track, and you get to go back and do it again and again and win it or whatever happens. But whatever happens, mate, congratulations, and thanks for coming back in.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
That's all we have time for on today's show. If you get the chance, head over to YouTube and hit subscribe on the Talk and Chatter page. Also, head over to iTunes and give us a star rating and a review there. It all helps to get the podcast out there. A big thank you goes to everyone that's been doing this already, and we'll be back with another show soon.